Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we will be discussing that how to fix the most common error, that is application failed to start. Port 8080 was already in use. So basically what is happening when we work with a microservice architecture, right? Then a large enterprise application will be divided into smaller services. That services is called microservices, right? And each microservices is responsible for a specific business functionality. That's what previously we were using some different model, right? And now we will be using a microservice architecture. So let us assume that when you are dealing with e-commerce based application, right? Then you have various kind of microservices, right? You have, if I will try to write, I think so, you have the user service, I can say. You might have order service, you may have the payment service, right? All these services, that is nothing but it is a microservices that will be a part of that e-commerce based application. And every microservices, either it is a user service, either it is a order service, either it is a payment service, will have its own responsibility and functionality to accomplish their task. They have their own work, right? User service is basically responsible to handling the user related task. Order service is basically handling the order related information, and payment service is basically dealing with the payment related stuff. Now if you are seeing that these user service, order service and payment service, these services are running on somewhere, right? They have their own unique address where they might be running, right? Assume that this user service is running on http://localhost:8081, and assume that order service is running on 8082. I will just copy and paste here. Order service is running on 8082, and you can assume that payment service is running on some different address, right? So user service is running on 8081, order service is running on 8082. So how many services are available in your enterprise based application? It might be 10 services, it might be 5 services. They all have their own unique address at which they are running, and they have their own unique port number, right, on which they are running. When one service which is running on 8081 and other service you are going to start on the same port number 8081, then definitely you will get the application failed to start, and on that situation you will get port 8081 was already in use. So to simulate this kind of issue, I just created two dummy microservices here. One is the dummy project 1 and second is the dummy project 2. So these are the two different microservices which is available, and we will try to simulate this error, which is application failed to start. So let me just first go and fix that issue. What is coming here? Build failure. What is the reason for failed to start the goal? Okay. Default compile. Okay. Error. Release version 17 not supported. Okay. So let me just go here and check the project structure, and project structures, let us just change to 17 because we are using 17 here. Project, here also we can use the 17. Under the modules 17 is there, right? And other places that is fine. SDK we have to concentrate, that is 17, project and modules. We will just do apply and OK, and we have to just check the Maven settings that everything is fine. We have to use the bundled Maven, this one, and just select clean, compile, and install, and just click on this play button. So it will try to compile the code and install the dependency which is available inside the pom.xml related with this microservices. Let us wait for some time and we will check that the build is successful or not. Once the build will be successful, we will be good to go ahead and start the application. Okay, build is successful. Now let me just check that here what is the scenario. Project number 2, the build is successful. Here there is no any issue, right? Let me just go here and go to demo application.java, which is having the main method, and under this main method it is going to start the Spring Boot application, right? I will just click on this play button and just click on select run demo application.main. Once I will click on this, you will find that the application will start on port number 8080, the default port, that is 8080. Now you can see here by looking into the log, Tomcat is started on port number 8080 with context bar /, right? You can see this application is started with port number 8080. Now how many places this 8080 is there? 2 places. One is this one. Okay, here you can see it is initializing on the port number 8080. This is the default port, and after that it is starting on port number 8080. Now let us go to the project number 2. Here project number 2, I will go ahead and just go to demo application. Here the same scenario. Under the main method we are trying to start the Spring Boot application from here, and this is the demo application.java class. So this Java class is responsible and it is the main candidate who is going to take a part of starting the Spring Boot application, right? Just click on this play button, select this run demo application.main. Once it will be started, and because already we started one application on port number 8080, let us see what is happening here, because we did not separately specified that this is our port. Now you can see that web server failed to start, port 8080 was already in use. So this is the error. So when there is a one microservices which is already running on this port number 8080, right, and you are going to start again another microservices, so by default they are looking on port number 8080. If you wanted to change this port, right, then you have to do some configuration, add some configuration related properties, and then this error will be fixed. So this is the error, web server failed to start, port 8080 was already in use, right? What is the action? Identify and stop the process listening on port number 8080 or configure this application to listen on another port. Straightforward, it is saying that either you have to identify which process is running on 8080 which is already start, and you can stop this process and you can start this particular application again so that it can start on 8080. Or you can do one more thing, you can just configure this application to some other port number so that it can listen another port number and it will not use the default port 8080. So how we can do that? I will just go here, resource, and there is application.properties. Under the application.properties we have to use one configuration properties called server.port equal to 8081. Now I will restart my application, right? Already my application got failed, so now I am going to rerun my application. Let us see, because we already specified that we wanted to run this application on 8081 and it has to try to listen this 8081 port. Control F, 8081. Now let us see that it is listening on. Now you can see that it is initialized and using the port number 8081, and after that it is going to start the application successfully on 8081. The similar way you can change the port here, there is no any issue, and on that particular port it will just try to start the application, right? I started on 8081. Now I will restart this application on 8082. Now it has to start listening on 8082 because we have defined one property called server.port in application.properties, and it will start listening on 8082 port. See here, 8082 port Tomcat is started, and just try to search it is initializing on 8082 port or not. Now I will just search here. Now you can see Tomcat initialized with port 8082. So this is the way. Now the issue got resolved and the application is not failing. Now it is starting. So this is the way, guys, you can just solve this error. Port is already used, and you can just define another properties inside the application.property, and you can just force the application to use this particular port number. Don't use the default port number because it is being used by some other application or microservices. So this is the way that you can solve this issue. So if you are finding that this video is helpful for you, then you can go ahead and subscribe this channel and like this video. Thank you for your time, and thanks a lot.